First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the elders and apostles and the bishops at Great Millstone who labor night and day, making sure that this word gets out for the hopeful elect and the remnant of Israel, even those that might look like these other nations. Peace and salutations to all the men that's in GMS, Great Millstone, who out there on the highways and hedges making lessons, getting this word out by any means necessary. Peace and salutations to all the Aqua that listen, and peace and salutations to all the believers and supporters of this 100% truth. May this lesson be edifying to all the Akim. Shalom. Alright, so we're going to get into this. Matter of fact, hold on real quick. Now this is on my page. Basically with this video right here, I always talk about basically what goes on in this video when I just give little, I just say little stuff. But this brother right here, let me see if I can make this bigger. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom in. This brother right here, alright? He always has very, very good videos. Make sure you subscribe to his video. Make sure you give him all the likes in his videos, because he drops nothing but fire and the truth. He's a very good brother. He out of Idaho, as you can see. But if you look at this, he's talking about the KKK. And I've been wanting to get into this for a while to make an actual video. I normally just talk about it. But make sure you watch this brother's video, because like how I said, he always makes very good videos. But I'm going to get into what I'm about to drop. And because y'all better keep your head on the swivel, because this is how it's going to go down. Now this is a video from this video is nothing new, but the stuff that he says in this video brings out what they have been doing basically since the 70s to the 90s and a little bit into the 2000s. They've been doing this, dropping off crates of guns, and stuff like that. So you're gonna hear from his mouth. He's being interviewed.
Big issue in the United States. Racism's always going to be a big issue anyway. You can't have two different races or three races. You can't have this many people living on one continent with this many different religions, this many different cultures, without one trying to step on the other. I mean, that's just common sense. But you could argue that the Klan is contributing to the problem. No, the Klan ain't contributing to the problem. You can just sit back and let the blacks do their own job. I mean, let them keep killing each other in record numbers. The Klan ain't got to go out and kill blacks anymore. We just drop off some liquor in their town and some guns, and they do it themselves.
Now he said, all we gotta do is go in their community, drop off some liquor, and drop off some guns. You heard it from the horse's mouth.
My option every weekend, I'll go up to Chicago with a big truck full of whiskey and crack, marijuana, and a ton of guns and bullets, and tell them have at it and just drop it off right in the middle of town.
He said he would go to Chicago and do this.
Of our country? Do you think things are getting worse? I think it's a racial powder keg about to explode, and we're actually hoping for it. Most of the people in the Klan want it to. We want the racial thing. We want a race war, a full-out race war. And racism is a big issue in the United States. Racism's always going to be a big issue anyway. You can't have two different races or three races. You can't have this many people living on one continent with this many different religions, this many different cultures, without one trying to step on the other. I mean, that's just common sense. But you could argue that the Klan is contributing to the problem. No, the Klan ain't contributing to the problem. You can just sit back and let the blacks do their own job. I mean, let them keep killing each other in record numbers. The Klan ain't got to go out and kill blacks anymore. We just drop off some liquor in their town and some guns, and they do it themselves. weekend, I'll go up to Chicago with a big truck full of whiskey and crack, marijuana, and a ton of guns and bullets, and tell them have at it and just drop it off right in the middle of town. What do you think about the state of
a large hate group that our investigation discovered is expanding its presence right here in Tennessee. Good evening to you. I'm Carrie Sharp. And that group, the so-called Patriot Front, is probably best known for plastering our communities with their hate-filled posters and graffiti. Now our investigation has uncovered new videos that reveal the group is also preparing for battle. Chief Investigative Reporter Phil Williams is continuing his Hate Comes to Main Street investigation. Phil, you have been working on this story for more than 3 months.
That's right, and during that time, we've gathered never-before-seen video that shows what the Patriot Front is really up to. And as you're about to see, that includes training men to fight right here in the volunteer state.
Right now, they got an enemy. If they get rid of their enemies, they're going to have to fight a new one.
Our investigation began last fall as anti-fascist activists protested an annual white supremacist gathering inside the lodge at Montgomery Bell State Park, about 40 miles west of Nashville. It was an investigation that would eventually lead us across the state to this large compound being built by a hate group right here in Tennessee. A compound where members train for battles that sometimes play out on the streets of America.
These are smart, observant, thoughtful Americans who see that our country is going in the wrong direction and has been going in the wrong direction for decades.
Which may be why Jerry Taylor, the founder of the American Renaissance Conference, insisted that we not take video of any faces while we were inside the conference. How about the neo-Nazis?
I don't even know a neo-Nazi.
That is absolutely false. Jerry Taylor lied to you.
Jeff Tischhauser tracks hate for the Southern Poverty Law Center, and he knows a lot about the men we identified from outside the conference using facial recognition software. Men like Thomas Rousseau.
Nationalism is natural. Patriotism is inevitable.
Rousseau, seen here during a demonstration in Nashville last summer, heads the Patriot Front, one of the largest organized hate groups in the country. Known for their flash mob protests that suddenly spring out of the backs of rental trucks, members wear white gaiters to hide their faces. Their flag-waving marches are designed to present an image that also hides the hate behind their cause.
When you get within their private spaces online, members of Patriot Front worship Hitler, right? They deny the Holocaust. They use a tremendous amount of racial slurs between each other.
They're very clever, though. They wrap themselves in patriotism. Patriot Front.
So that's a way for Patriot Front to appeal to the larger conservative movement.
We are Americans. We are not white Americans because there are no other kind of Americans than those who are white and from Europe.
At age 26, Thomas Rousseau is polished in his racism.
Life, liberty, victory!
But leaked videos from inside Patriot Front reveal that beneath that polished veneer
Good take right there.
See, high, let's go.
are old-fashioned neo-Nazis.
These are hardened white supremacists who want to see a white ethno-state created somewhere in the United States.
Outside
This is 2nd Esdras, chapter 15, verse 12. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundations of it shall be smitten, with the plague and punishment that God Yahweh shall bring upon it. So this place is going to be smitten of all these plagues, all right, and the punishment that's coming to America and coming to the whole world. 2nd Esdras chapter 15 verse 13 reads, They that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fear constellation. And you can see that happening now. With the Strait of Hormuz still being closed, they can't get that fertilizer. Now, you still got farmers still growing their products, still getting some of their stuff out. But those vendors, because, if you know, unless you were in a grocery store, I never worked there, but I do know how businesses work. They all have little vendors. So when you look at your Giant, your Shoppers, your Aldi, your Fresh Right, all these places where you buy your food, they have vendors. And soon, this stuff is about to go down. And the same thing that I always say, that, once those 18-wheelers stop, the food stop. And it's amazing how that brother, he had a video showing that. And that's the truth. But let's move on. 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 14. Woe to the earth and them that dwell therein. And this is verse 15, 2nd Ezra 15:15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one person shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hand. So, people are going to have everything in that day. They're going to have little swords. And a lot of people, just about everybody in America got a gun. And just about everybody in America got a cutlass. Some people call them cutlasses. Some people call them machetes. And everybody knows a machete is not to be played with. Everybody knows that. You can have a ninja sword. That's cool. That's fine. But if someone pulls out a machete, you already know that thing is taking off arms, hands, and legs. It's doing that. And as you see it, what it says in Ezra 15:15, it says that it draweth nigh. That means it's going to come. The destruction's going to come. And it says, and one people shall stand up and fight against another people. So that's 100%. When we keep telling y'all that these race wars are going to come, it's most definitely going to come. Because if you got a set of people that are Hispanic, or a set of people that are so-called Asian, or a set of people that's so-called Black African American, or Jamaican, or Haitian, or Filipino, that's what it talks about. Or even if you have some rich people might, make a clans with each other, like, hey, we gotta do whatever we gotta do. That they have showed that on the news when those people, when they was riding, they tried to go to the rich neighborhood, and the guy came out there with his guns and he drove them off. So, but it says, and swords in their hands. People are going to have actual swords, bats, guns, whatever they can have to cause bodily injury. 2nd Ezra 15:16, it reads, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. So imagine, you might have some people, like, they might be in a group. Hey, man, let's go ahead and break into that person. Yeah, I'm down with you, man. Fuck it, man. Let's do it. And they could do that job together. And then next thing you know, they fighting amongst themselves. That's why it says that in the verse. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, they're going to put everything on the table. And as it continuing, it reads, they shall not regard their kings or princes. They're not going to care about these authorities. They're not going to care about these governors that's going to say, stay in your home. Don't go outside. Don't be stealing and pillaging, killing. They're not going to care about that. You seen what they did at the Knicks game. Show no regard. People that had those Spurs jerseys on had to run to the police for protection. People was out there doing the finest of dumbness out there. And if they can do that during a daggone basketball game, and they did the same thing when they had the Jets game too. Up there. They did the same thing. And even some of the police egged the people on. You can look it up. But as it continues, in the course of their actions, what they're going to be doing, what's going to be taking place, shall stand in their power. That's right. That means when it says stand in their power, that means that the police are not going to even be able to stop them. It's going to be so many people doing what they're doing. That's why you see takeover, the youth takeover in D.C., takeover in Baltimore, takeover in Chicago. It's going to be too many people out here doing the finest of wickedness out here that police are not going to be able to stop it. And what's going to happen when the police can't stop it? Then the president has no choice but to call in martial law. Straight up lockdown curfew. That's how it's going to be. And don't let it get to the point that you might have to pee in a cup. It's going to get down like that. And people think it's a game. But it's the truth. Because the people are going to be going out here robbing, stealing, committing heinous acts. You have to have some type of control. And that's what martial law is for. And that's why all this is already set up. You already got the ICE set up. If Trump wants to use them to work along with the military, boom, he already has that at his hand. He already still got military people still in different states ready to go. All he has to do is implement them to say, hey, go to this city, go to this neighborhood. And the same thing with the ICE. He could just send them out there because he has control of them. That's why when we say how this stuff is going to get, it will be martial law. 100% guarantee all your money back, and guarantee you ain't going to get no money back. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. Now, why is the man not going to be able? They're going to have checkpoints. And best believe they're going to have some type of cyber attack or some type of terrorist attack going on. So they're going to mandate that everybody stays put. All this is going to be going on at one time so they can gain control. Imagine, I just did a video showing that the people came from Africa to America with some type of chemical compound dealing with some type of disease. You see what I'm saying? So they're going to want to, and then we had Chinese people coming over here putting stuff in the crops. That was going on. So they most definitely are going to lock stuff down because they don't want some type of terrorist threat going around from city to city with that and people. It's been several times we have had riots. During the Rodney King riots, George Floyd riots, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. It has been several times that people have rioted when things did not go right. They just had the thing going on with the young boy that got shot in the back. It keeps going on and on. And now we got the stabbing at a track meet going on. We don't know how all this stuff is going to turn out. But the whole thing, what we must do is claim to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 18. And we're going to get into some more videos, most definitely. And this reads, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Man, Imagine this. And I said this before. You're going to have men being afraid. You're going to have, because of their pride, they feel like, well, this is what we have to do. And like how I said before, you're going to have the Ku Klux Klan out there waiting. So they can just nick off and shoot whoever they can. You're going to have the Black Panther Party out there too. That's going to happen. So therefore, we're going to have the race wars. That's going to happen. And they're going to be going against police and government. They're going to be like, fuck that. We have to protect our own. That's going to be going on. And then you're going to have people that's trying to be neutral. Hey, I just want to live. And then you're going to have the hopeful elect who's going to be see-through and protected by Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. But this is the pride and what's going to make them do this. How they feel. Shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed. So imagine, even if you're a neutral person, you're neutral. You be like, oh, we're just going to stay in the house and bunker down and, cook our food at night and keep our lights out. And hopefully it just passed by. Man, look. They going to be coming in those people's houses too. Because at that time when all this trouble happens, you think a company's going to say, hey, can you deliver that food down to Shoppers Food Warehouse and Food Lion? Can you deliver that to Walmart? No, man. That's not going to be happening. Because people are going to be out in the streets going crazy. And even if they did try to do that, if you ain't see the Fast and Furious, how they was running down those daggone 18-wheelers, yeah, that's how it's going to be like, man. Because people are going to be hungry. The famine of the food is going to be in full effect. And then pestilence is going to be going on. You seen in World War Z, I did the video. The dude ran into the daggone pharmacy trying to get medicine. Yeah, people are going to be doing that too. Running into these pharmacies to get medicine. Because people are going to be sick. Some people, you got a lot of people on medicine. People on diabetes, high blood pressure, insulin. You got people that got cuts and bruises. You got people that got mental problems that if they don't get their meds, they're going to zap the fuck out. You got all this stuff going on, man. So all this is going to be on the table. And what does this say? And men shall be afraid. The same man that says, man, I'm about that life, is the same man going to say, man, I think we better think twice and stay in the house and turn off the lights. That same man is going to be like that. I'm telling you, it's going to be crazy out here. 2nd Ezra, chapter 15:19. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their house with the sword. They're going to be coming in there with guns, with gats and bats. People going to be strapped up. Yeah. All that going to be on there. You got people out here waiting for that. And that's when you're going to even, just like if you've seen the movie The Purge. Yeah. You're going to have organized crime going on there that's going to be coming from our government. They're going to be coming into those neighborhoods as well. And just like how they say, well, they watching the people through the street cameras. Yeah, they're going to be doing that. They're going to make sure that the lights might not be working, but they're going to make sure that those cameras are juiced up. Yeah. And the elite going to be sitting back eating popcorn, watching your head get smashed in, man. Real talk, man. It's going to be just like that. And I always said that way before I came into GMS. Yeah, that's what they're going to do. Yeah. And what does this say? But shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread. and for great tribulation. This trouble is going to be upon all people, but it's mainly going to affect Jacob, the Hispanics, Native Americans, these so-called blacks. Because let's be for real, most of them don't prepare for this time. Because if they was preparing, everybody would be screaming Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakakadash, but they ain't screaming that. They screaming, man, fuck that shit, man. I don't gotta hear that, man. We got that shit on ourselves, man. Fuck that. Yeah, they talking all that hood shit. Yeah, but what you gonna do when you ain't got no food in the hood shit? You gonna be messed up. You ain't gonna be able to do nothing. You're going to be all messed up, man, because you ain't seek Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Y'all keep thinking this is a joke. All right. Now imagine, this was one man that caused all that havoc. Just one man. Imagine you got a gang full of people. Just like this dude, man. Let's say you got 5 of them. Let's say you got 10 of them. Man, cold, fuck it. Man, you got 50 dudes like this. And they said this dude was driving around in his vehicle. Say you got 50 dudes hopping out vehicles. AR-15s. Everybody got 5 clips, man. You can't tell me someone's going to be able to stand in something like that. It's going to go down, man. And what did it say? Racist white man pigs out and opens fire with an AR-15 on a black family reunion. Oh, y'all wanted to meet up and see each other eat hot dogs and hamburgers and shit. Okay. Gathering while yelling racial slurs after an alleged verbal altercation. That means he got pissed off, he got mad, and he said, I'm about to open up strap on you. And if he got the right lawyers, he could say, they brandished the gun, so I whipped out because I was in fear that they was going to come to my house and hurt me. So I had to shoot first, or he could say, someone showed a gun, so that's the reason why I opened fire. And they can just lose the case. It could be just like that. Don't think because they got his picture painted like this that he can't get off. We've seen it many a times. He straight up opened up strap on him. Real talk. 2nd Ezra chapter 15:49. I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, swords, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. It's going to be people that's going to be dead, that won't be able to take care of their kids. So there goes your poverty and there goes your famine. And how did it happen? By the sword. And a lot of people is going to experience the pestilence because they're not going to have money to take care of anyone that is sick because it won't be no money. To waste their houses. You seen what just happened. People ran into houses and they were still being shot at. And destruction that came upon them, and death came upon those people. This is to show you what is going to go on in Jacob's trouble. I did not attempt for this to be a long video, but it needs to be heard for those that are slow-bellied. Second Ezra 15:50, and the glory of thy power shall be dried up as a flower. The heat shall arise that is sent over thee. And anyone knows that if a flower does not get water and mass heat, it withers and it dies. This is Ezekiel chapter 35:5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword and the time of their calamity. Yes, we will have calamity, Salakia, coming upon us. And they will be using everything. As I said before, swords, bats, guns, machetes, people that are mighty, anything they can to destroy us. And this is all going to happen during Jacob's trouble. And the time of their iniquity had an end. All this is going to be going down. This is Psalms 83:3. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. You heard what the guy said. We're going to drop off alcohol and guns in their neighborhoods and just let them have at it. He said it. But now, we are at that time. They ain't dropping off no guns. Because now they know what you're going to do with them guns. You're going to use them against them. And they love having gun buybacks. And they love doing confiscations of weapons. So a lot of these people that used to have all those guns do not have them no more. And that's what's been going because they consulted against thy hidden ones. And thy hidden ones are the children of Israel. This is Psalms 83:4. They have said, come and let us cut off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. And you best believe when it comes to them clan members, that's what they saying. Same thing happened to Katrina. The dude said this is feather season. And you said feather season, yeah, feather season when they hunt the ducks. But instead, they're going to be hunting the children of Israel. They're going to be hunting the so-called blacks, so-called Native Americans, so-called, Hispanics. They're going to be hunting them down. And they're going to be killing them. And any sympathizers that wants to be along with them too, they're going to hunt them down too. Any people that believe, they're going to hunt them down too. They're going to hunt them down. And anyone that goes out on the highways and byways, they're going to be hunted down too. And anyone that's making videos about this stuff is going to be going down. They're going to be hunted down too. And the reason why they're going to be hunted down is for the simple fact is that we're telling this truth. There are mercenaries out there, people that are paid, that when these lights go out, hey, listen, when these lights come back on, this person can't be alive. That stuff is out there. You got to understand what you are in. If you're out there on the highways and byways, people are taking pictures and videos of you. And a lot of those are agents. And they back there reporting. They know what grocery store you go to. They know everything about you, man. What time you sleep, everything, man. Your neighbor, you might think the neighbor's a daggone agent or working with them. All this stuff is going down in real time. So best believe when Jacob Trouble is going down, we are going to be hunted as well. They're going to try to come to our houses. They're going to try to be in the crowds when people are screaming, get down, get down. And when they shooting this stuff, you're going to hear a bullet ricochet and all this stuff go past your head, because we're going to be hunted as well. But we're going to be saved out of it.
Tonight, another original 60-minute story is available on the new Paramount Plus streaming service. This past week, FBI Director Christopher Wray told Congress the white supremacy movement is a top domestic threat. 60 Minutes Plus correspondent Lori Siegel talks with a former supremacist insider for a chilling look at his group's goal, race war. They wanted to create such a strain on the logistics of the country, the police face the law. They wouldn't have any obstacles in killing the people they... Race war. They wanted to create such a strain on the logistics of the country, the police, fire, EMS, that they wouldn't have any obstacles in killing the people they wanted to kill, to where they could go out and shoot minorities without having to face the law.
This is Psalms 83:5. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. So you heard what the guy said. You even got law enforcement down with this stuff. That this is what they're going to do. 60 Minutes did a talk about that. This is real talk, man. This is no made up stuff. But see, this is what we have to remember when we're dealing with all this stuff. This is Proverbs chapter 4, verse 16. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. And that's what they're going to do. They can't sleep unless they cause some people to fall, some people to have a bad ending. Whether they lie to you, steal from you, or they kill you. They can't go to sleep unless they do stuff like this. And this is what goes on in this world. This is Red Letter. This is Matthew 24:22. And this is coming from Yahweh Shai. And except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh be saved. Now let's pause it right there, man. If they didn't shorten these days, it'll be so much killing that no one would survive. And that's just like in the movie The Purge. They had a certain time limit. And once it got to that time limit, they blew the horn. and all the killing stopped. You couldn't kill after a certain time, and you couldn't start killing before a certain time. That's why they had that movie, because that's what's going to happen. Some are going to already know when it's going to start, and they're going to be ready. And some not going to know, and they're not going to be ready. And some going to know when it's going to stop, and they'll be like, listen, we got this amount of time. You even heard a judge one time say, hey, man, we got permission to kill. That was on the news, too. That they're going to know. Let me read that again. And except those days be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Because Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is going to protect the elect. Those that know the true name of the Heavenly Father, which the Father name is Yahweh, and his Son name is Yahweh Shai. Those people that call upon those names will be saved. We're not using the letter J that just didn't start coming around the corner. No, we're talking about the Hebrew, ancient Pueblo Hebrew way of speaking. The same language that they speak up in heaven. The same language that the angels speak. That is going to come upon us, and that is what we are supposed to talk in. And when we're in the kingdom, we will everybody, even the heathen, will be speaking that language. That's how it's going to be. Everything is going back to old. Because if you remember the story, how the languages got all confused, that shows you that Hebrew was the language. The Pueblo Hebrew, Slakia, was the language. But the Heavenly Father confused all that. He's the one that does what he does. He's the one that, if he wants you to be blinded and not find the truth, he going to make you be that one. He going to make you keep believing. And there's I don't know what's going on all this week. A lot of brothers talking about that virgin birth. You know how it goes out here in GMS. Once we, we ain't got to talk to one another. We see each other videos and we like, yeah, all right, we all going to talk about this virgin birth. Or we all going to talk about these females. Or we all going to be talking about, MOTB, or we're just going to go down like that. The Rakah Kadash, that spirit is being let loose on the hopeful elect and the remnant. It's going down like that. All right, let's bring out this last verse. My battery going dead. This is Zechariah 8:23. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, in those days it shall come to pass that 10 men shall take hold out of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirts of him that is a Jew, saying, we will go with you. For we have heard that God, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, is with you. Yeah, those men that's taking hold of the men's the skirts of Jews, we're taking hold of those men that are a great millstone. When we hear this truth, we are taking hold of those men. We are listening to their videos. We are listening to what they say. They are listening to what they say to do. We're taking hold of those men. We are listening to their words. Whether you are in a different place or speaking a different language or in a different nation, we are taking hold of this truth. And we will go forth and listen to this truth. For those starting down with the apostles at Great Bend Stone and the elders, that's what we are doing. We are going to take hold of those that's teaching this 100% truth. Well, really 144% truth, as I like to say. So we're going to take hold of this truth and we're going to hold it dearly. Because we are not going to listen to what these churches preach that are fake and not real. They don't know the true name of the Heavenly Father or the Son, and they're going to keep spewing out the same stuff that they was learned from slavery time. And this is why they do not have the correct doctrine, and they do not have the 100% truth. So I hope that this lesson was edifying to all that listen. Shalom.